This is for all ABBA and Benny fans in Germany, and I think in France too. You can now watch some very special films for which Benny Andersson wrote the soundtrack, and these soundtracks are for some of Benny's best and most touching compositions. Hey! So, on the website arte.tv you can now watch almost all films from Swedish director Roy Andersson. And for two of them, Benny wrote the film music. The music that he wrote for the Roy Andersson films, for me personally, really stands out and are amongst the very best of Benny's compositions. For Benny himself, they must have special importance too. He used and reused many of the tracks for his other solo projects, for his band Benny Andersson's Orchestra, for his choir album, and for the Swedish musical version of Chess. 3 tracks for the first film were released on a very rare promo single. You can listen to it here on YouTube. I think this is one of the most astounding work from Benny as a composer. Almost like a 3-part suite, movements of classic orchestra, choir and folk. Extremely melancholic and so touching. For me personally, it's not only Benny's music, but I also became a huge fan of Roy Andersson and his work. I really love these films, which I think are very special. What you may need to know is that these films are not at all in any way mainstream or easy viewing. They have a distinctive style. Almost every scene is filmed in one long take, with no camera movement, with stiff picturesque sceneries. It's almost like a mosaic of still life. It's very triste, melancholic, but Roy Andersson uses this to break it with absurdity and grotesque humor. A depiction of human life and Swedish culture. It's very artful and for me extremely touching, but again may not be everyone's cup of tea, so be advised. In any way, Benny's music, his melancholic, reflective compositions are just a perfect combination for this cinematic experience. Over the years, Benny wrote film music for several films, including the fantasy films Mio min Mio, Cirkeln, which he produced with his son Ludwig, the documentary Palme, as well as many projects for Swedish artist Marie-Louise Ekman for film, television and stage, which are sometimes rare to find but so intriguing. Of course, Benny was also involved in producing and recording the soundtracks for both Mamma Mia movies. As this may imply, Benny's film music is quite diverse. It is unfortunate that most of his work is not really readily available as true soundtrack albums, but we have the films, so if you have the chance in Germany and France to watch Arte, you can now watch Songs from the Second Floor and You, the Living, 2 of the films of Roy Andersson for which Benny wrote the music. And if you are familiar with these or other film work from Benny, please let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments below. Again, I really wish this would all be made available as real soundtrack albums at some point. Alright, until then, hey do!